It's one thing to get your first sale on Etsy, but the second thing to learn is how in the world do you get Etsy sales in a fast amount of time to get to 100 sales and then scale it from there. Now, today I'm going to tackle the first solution to the problem, which is how do you get sales fast and how do you get to 100 sales in a quick amount of time. Now, this is something that I love to talk about because this is something I've mastered multiple times in my Etsy experience and starting and scaling 2 shops now to 5 figures within a few months time frame. This is my secret sauce, so to speak, in this video. So if you clicked on this is the right video for you if you are looking to start, scale, and grow your Etsy business. By the way, I have a free training on this in the link down below. It's called Launch Your Shop from 0 to 100 Sales. And you can also join me in that free training as well. It is an hour to an hour and a half long training, but it does give a lot of insight in what I'm talking about today. And then also it does give a lot of graphs and information and kind of a visual look at how this would look like if you're looking to start and scale your business. It's completely a free training, so check it out down below as well. But besides that, I wanted to go over some things I talk about in there that is really important and really vital to starting and scaling your Etsy shop that we honestly just need to talk about today. So here we go. We're going to get right into it. So as far as the fastest way to get sales in your Etsy business, it's really learning 2 concepts. Now, the first concept that I really want to break down in this video is how do we get a conversion event? A conversion event is simply our goal on Etsy, right? You clicked on this video in the fastest way to get a sale on Etsy. In order to get a sale on Etsy, we need to figure out how a sale happens on Etsy. A conversion event on Etsy is where a customer finds your product and they like your product enough to buy that product. Now, in order to get that purchase in e-commerce, it takes about 50 to 100 customers to look at that product and for one customer to buy that product. And this statistic that I just shared with you is from the average statistic of e-commerce conversion rates, which is 2 to 4% on Etsy on average. So the average e-commerce conversion statistic is 2 to 4%, 4% on the higher end. On average, it's floating around 2% conversion rate. So what does that mean for your Etsy shop and just selling online in total? So that means that out of 100 people that view your product, 2 people will purchase that product on average. Now, every day in the grand scheme of things, that might be 1 person purchasing per 100 views, or that could mean up to 3 to 4 people purchasing every 100 views. Again, we're talking averages here. We're not talking what is happening on a day-to-day basis. So if you're sitting here and you're like, Heather, I'm getting 100 views, but 0 sales. If you're getting 0 sales and maybe you have thousands of views at this stage, that comes down to your product and the listing specifically, which is probably not something that you want to hear watching this video, but that means that your listing is just not a converting listing. It may be a listing that people don't want to buy, which could come down to your design. It could be the product, it could be the pricing, it could be the SEO. Maybe you're targeting the wrong niche completely and you're selling a design that's just not relatable to that niche. There's so many reasons that can happen. And if you look below on my website, I do have shop review services for that reason, because a lot of people may be wondering, I feel like I have a product that should sell, but it's not, and it could come down to other factors. I personally have a team of people who do listing and shop reviews. If you are interested in that service, please look at down below. In the best case scenario, let's say that you do actually have a high converting product. Now, maybe you've had a sale on it, but you're not getting visibility. Now, with conversions, and the fastest way to get sales is, first of all, you need to lock down that product. The product that you're selling needs to sell on repeat. And a lot of the times I've seen a lot of students and clients that I've worked with hand in hand and one-on-one in the past. They've had really great products, but the problem is the visibility is not there. And that comes down to the SEO, the niches that they're in, and the keywords that they're using. And also that comes down to not having any marketing strategy. So by marketing strategy, I'm talking about running ad campaigns with Etsy ads, maybe Facebook ads, or maybe they aren't on social media, they aren't using email marketing. These are 3 ways that you can get visibility to increase the amount of views on a listing so that you can increase your conversion rate, because you may have a really nice conversion rate on a listing, but the problem is it's never going to be seen. And if it's not seen, then you're not going to get sales at the end of the day. So I really want that to sink in for a lot of you watching this video, is you may not have a conversion problem. The problem may lie in your visibility. With Etsy, the truth of the matter is, in the past year on Etsy, we've seen a large increase of Etsy sellers, large increase of competition. Now, I know that immediately starts the floodgates and the panic of, should I even be selling on Etsy? Now, I want everyone to look at Etsy as a marketplace. This is a place that is allowing you to sell your product on. And while you can still rank organically, and when you do rank organically, that is incredible because you're going to see many sales organically without you having to lift a finger. However, since there is higher competition, we need to talk about the reality of selling on any marketplace, on Shopify, on Etsy, on Redbubble, Teespring, eBay, Amazon, anywhere that you are selling. You still should have the foundation of social media and ads. You do need to learn these 2 things in order to have long-term success on a platform. SEO keywords is a huge one as well. I don't want to discredit those. We need all 3 to work together in order to see scaling and see you getting those first 100 sales very, very fast. This is a part of the video where I'm going to break down all 3 for those of you who are still watching. If you're still watching, let me know in the comments by putting in, I am scaling to the moon. Just put it in there. Put, I'm scaling to the moon because of this video. I'm scaling to the moon this year. I'm scaling to the moon fast. Whatever it is, just let me know that you're still watching by putting I'm scaling to the moon down below. I want to know who is still watching in this video. So anyways, so the 3 ways to get sales super, super fast in your Etsy business. There is no secret to this, guys. There is no gatekeeping. There is nothing I am not sharing in this video. I just want to say that. A lot of people have emailed me like, what's the secret? What's the secret, Heather? There is no secret. I've said it on my channel so many times now throughout the past year. And I want to say this in the nicest way possible. I really have said this multiple times, and everyone asks, what's the secret? What's the secret? It's locking down your SEO, your keywords that you are using in your Etsy shops. It is using Etsy ads, and it is social media and email marketing. If you can master these 4 things, and I put 3. If you can master these 4 things, you are going to scale very, very quickly on Etsy. You can scale a business on Shopify, on Amazon, on whatever platform you're selling on. The concept of the platform does not matter. What matters is your marketing skills and how you can utilize those marketing skills to your advantage. Once you master marketing, which marketing in the simplest of forms, having enough visibility to your product that you are selling that you can get sales on repeat. If you don't have traffic coming into your listings, you're not going to see your fast scaling and sales at the end of the day. And that is the truth of owning any online business. You need customers to come into your products that you are selling to get sales on repeat. There is no magic pathway that is going to get you there any faster than using some form of ads, social media, or even email marketing. There's so many ways that you can bring eyes to your listings on Etsy outside of just using Etsy's organic Etsy algorithm system to pull that in for you. Etsy will organically bring customers into your listings, given if you're using the right keywords and SEO, and if you're lucky to get enough sales that you get boosted in the algorithm to page one. That is one way you can get sales quickly on Etsy. That is a way that I did it when I first began, and that I've seen many other people do it. It is still possible this year with the high competition, but I do want to also say that social media is a very viable way. I have seen many students and clients that I have worked with, again, hand in hand, be able to use social media to rank to page one on Etsy. If you're watching, you can do this. You do not need to show your face on your social media platforms either. You can do this if you're watching. Now that we nailed down how to get conversions on Etsy, so generally speaking, in order to hit your goals of getting multiple sales within a short period of time, which is us getting those sales fast, right? The only way to get sales fast is to boost our traffic. If we have a high converting listing, which we're looking at 2% ideally. So if you have that 2% ideally converting listing, that's what we're looking for. Once we have that, we can scale that to get sales fast. Now, the way to get sales fast, again, is by increasing our traffic and our views and visits on that Etsy listing. In order to increase our views and visits on our Etsy listing, we need to engage a few things. So that first thing is utilizing keywords. Now, this is one part of my secret sauce. And it's not really so much a secret. I feel like a lot of us on YouTube talk about SEO quite often. And what SEO really is search engine optimization, which comes down to the keyword phrases you are using. Short tail keyword phrases are 2 words or less. Long tail keyword phrases are 3 words in a phrase or more. So what's important with SEO is long tail keyword phrases. Short tail keyword phrases are pretty important too. I think that short tail keyword phrases I personally like to use in my tags on Etsy rather than the title, but long tail keyword phrases is generally what a lot of people are typing into Google now. Customers are getting very specific, guys. They want exactly what they want now. So when they're typing in their keyword phrases, they're putting not just mom gift, which is a short tail keyword phrase. Maybe some people are, but a lot of customers know that a lot of markets and Google in specific is pretty saturated as far as mom gifts, and it's not specific. It's not going to get the customer what they actually want. When a customer is typing in a query on Etsy, for example, they might be putting in birth flower August mom gift, which is a long tail keyword phrase now, because again, they want something specific for their mom. Maybe their mom was born in August and they want their mom's birth flower on a pillow or on a sweatshirt or on a necklace. That's what we want to target in this year. And that comes down to our keyword selection. That comes down to having a long tail keyword phrase. That's again 3 words or more. So as far as SEO, that's how I want you to think going forward in order to get sales fast. Again, that is going to jump up our sales because we are targeting those long tail keyword phrases that are specific to that customer who is typing in that query. So we want to create products that can match that product as well. We want it to be relevant to the product we're creating and posting on Etsy as well. That's something to note, is that is going to boost your conversion rates. The more specific and targeted your product is, the more sales you're going to get over time, and that's going to jump your sales, and you're going to get into this wheel of getting consistent repeatable sales by the products that you're creating, which can be done through print on demand, which is one of the reasons why I love using the company Printify. Printify has hundreds of products you can select from. This is what I've used since the beginning of my Etsy business, and this is how I create high converting listings, because I can create products on demand in my Etsy business that can align with the SEO and keywords that I'm using. So if I were creating a birth flower, let's say t-shirt for a mom, that's a gift for a mom, I can create that easily with my print on demand company, Printify. And I can create other products too. I can scale it out to a mug, to a sweatshirt, to a pillow, to a blanket. There's so many products that you can scale these items for. So if I know that a birth flower design for a mom that was born in August is really selling, then I would scale that out to 10 different types of products because I want to give those customers a catalog of items that they can purchase outside of just maybe a t-shirt. Now that we kind of have SEO locked down, that's going to again boost our traffic on Etsy. What I personally like to target now is micro niches. So micro niches are targeting specifically very low demand keywords. So you'll notice that there's a lot of low demand and high demand keywords. The way that I like to categorize low demand versus high demand is low demand is usually almost around or under 100 searches a month on Etsy. And sometimes it can float from 50 to 100 search volume on Etsy. And in fact, a lot of micro niches actually don't even have their own search categories on Etsy yet, which is kind of really nice because you may show up as number one in that category because no one else is typing in those search queries on Etsy, which is really nice about micro niches. So as far as SEO goes, what I would suggest to anyone starting this year or next year or the year after is to really focus on micro niches, to focus on long tail keyword phrases, and you're going to see a huge increase in traffic in your Etsy shop by focusing on those two things. So with that being said, I am making a video coming out soon going over SEO and really getting into a huge in-depth research on SEO and how to use it this year and how to master doing titles, tags, your description, and focusing on SEO that's going to get eyeballs on your listings. So don't forget to subscribe to get notified for that future video and turn on your notifications as well. The second strategy in getting sales fast is going to be using Etsy ads to get a lot of traffic to the listings that you know are selling and converting on repeat. So my two strategies that I really recommend with Etsy ads is, first of all, if you are new to Etsy and you're kind of feeling like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall with your listings, you don't know what sells, what won't sell, I usually recommend using $5 a day or at least $1 a day on ads for 30 days. $5 a day is going to be the best to try out Etsy ads to see what sells and what doesn't. Now, I put $5 on ads when I first start this first method for 30 days. Now, after 30 days, I will circle back to my Etsy ads. So let's say I'll start at the 15th of the month. I opened up my shop on the 15th of the month. That means on the 15th of the next month, I will look at all of my Etsy listings that I had the ads running for 30 days. If I have a listing that got a sale or a few sales, any listing that basically had a few sales during this time, I will keep the ads running on. Any Etsy listings I had no sales on, I will turn the Etsy ads off on. Now, usually this will leave me with a few Etsy listings that I will be running $5 a day Etsy ads on. The second part of my process with Etsy ads is I will increase my Etsy ad spend because Etsy ads, if you only have a few listings with Etsy ad spend on, generally Etsy ads won't spend your full budget because it doesn't have enough search volume to spend it on. However, if you're in a very broad niche that Etsy ads is targeting to, you can look at related tags in the Etsy ads to see this, but this is something that I would keep in mind if you're running your Etsy ads to turn off and look at your related tags to kind of switch off some of those if it doesn't make sense for those. So in this second part of the process with Etsy ads, now that you have maybe increased to $10 for your ad budget or $25 for your ad budget, that's as high as I would personally go because again, for my Etsy ads that I've ran in the past, since I'm targeting those micro niches, generally they have low demand, so Etsy is going to use those listings the best of its ability to get me sales with those listings that it's not going to overspend on my ad budget. So I will put the Etsy ads on for those listings. And usually I will be checking those listings on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. This portion of my ad campaign with my listings, if I am not seeing sales or a return on ad spend over 3, then I will turn off all ads and I will create more listings and start ads again and start this process again. So generally I will start a new process of uploading maybe 20 to 100 listings. I will put 30-day $5 ads on those listings again, and we'll restart the process, because to me, that ad spend, if I'm spending money on ads that are not selling and not getting me a return on ad spend known as ROAS, then ads aren't worth it for my Etsy shop unless I'm getting some sales coming in. My goal though for getting my first 100 sales is to get my first 100 sales as quickly as I can to get reviews and establish trust in my shop. This is really crucial and vital in your first few months on Etsy, is to get a lot of 5-star reviews coming in, build up that trust for your Etsy shop. And I like to not have a profit in the first few months on Etsy, which generally speaking, a lot of Etsy shops, a lot of e-commerce businesses start at a negative, and you won't see a profit until usually that 6-month to 1-year point. So this is a long-term game given. Getting Etsy sales does not mean that it's going to give you profit right away, especially if you have a handmade or print-on-demand business. So that's just something to think about as you go forward. But in general, this is my strategy to getting the first 100 sales if I'm only using Etsy ads. Now, the third strategy comes into play, that you may not have to spend that much on Etsy ads, and depending on your risk tolerance for your budget, I would not suggest Etsy ads to those who do not want to spend a lot of money out of the gate on Etsy ads. If you are, again, throwing spaghetti at the wall with your listings, you don't know what's going to stick, I would not use Etsy ads to begin. What I would recommend is social media. You can make social media posts on Instagram or Pinterest that are shareable, and you can do a giveaway that is maybe anyone who tags someone in the post, likes and follows and comments the post, will get entered into a raffle to win a free product. Now, you can do that with your Etsy shop and your maybe Instagram social media page. This is a really great way to get some new followers and get some engagement on your listings. The other way to use social media is as simple as Facebook groups and communities. This was the way I initially jump-started my own Etsy business that scaled from 0 to 250K in 1 year, which was a gross take-home profit of 100K. So I messaged the admins in a lot of Facebook groups and just asked if I could promote my business and offer anyone in their group a discount. I had a lot of people who shot me down and said no, and then I had a lot of people who said yes. Ever since I shared that I did this on my YouTube channel, a lot of people have told me that this does not work as easily anymore because a lot of groups are getting a lot of questions now since sharing that on my YouTube channel. A workaround with this is open up your own Facebook group and community. Maybe you're already in a Facebook group, and if you're in any Facebook group, let's say not a Etsy seller community or print-on-demand community, I think that's, I want to say, one of the first mistakes that I'm seeing a lot of new Etsy sellers make is they're going in Facebook groups that are for print-on-demand and trying to share in those groups their businesses. Now, I want to first of all tell you that this is not the method that I would recommend, because a lot of Etsy sellers that you're sharing in these groups, they're just going to give you critiques and they're going to look at your listings and they're not going to be purchasing. So it's going to lower your conversion rates and you're not going to be getting high quality customers who actually want to buy your products that will be visiting your listings. So first of all, I did want to say just be careful and try to find groups that are customer oriented and based instead of just people who are also other Etsy sellers. So you want to find groups. Let's say that you have teacher listings. You'll want to join a teacher Facebook group. And given a lot of the times these groups are only allowing people who are teachers. So in that case, be an active participant in those groups. And then maybe later on ask the Facebook admin if you can promote your business. So I would try to play an active role, or even just start your own group in the career that you are a part of and make listings for the career that you are a part of. This is a really great way, and honestly one of the best ways to start an Etsy business is focusing on what you do on a daily basis and making listings and products that may circle around that as well. You can find a lot of passion in the career and the hobbies that you have. So I think that that makes you an expert in that listing and in that product category on Etsy as it is. And with that being said, you can share on your Facebook, maybe with your friends or coworkers or colleagues, what you're doing as well. And that can get you boosted because you'll have sales from people that are real humans that may review your products later on, which just helps the wheel of getting more and more sales on repeat as time goes on. So besides that, that is how you can get the fastest amount of sales in the shortest amount of time on Etsy, is by increasing your visibility, increasing your traffic on Etsy, which that is primarily the focus of this video, is to increase your traffic. However, I don't want to discount the fact that there are other factors that can cause you to not get sales on Etsy, such as having a product or a design that just isn't converting your customers. In which case, sometimes that's just going back to the drawing board and finding designs, finding trends, finding products that you know are going to sell on repeat. So I do invite you to watch my other tutorials on this channel on how to create products that are going to sell on repeat. I have over 20 tutorials on this channel for so many different products, so I do recommend watching those and seeing how to design and create products with me, how I do the research, because those are really great tutorials I've provided on this channel that are completely free for you to watch. So I would recommend trying those out after this video. I will suggest one in this portion of the video as well. But besides that, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you all in the next video here.